Okay, here we are, back to it. Q&A with Chunky. You wore that t-shirt last time.
Chunky's is away. This is my
Is it spray
creativity t-shirt. I get creative when I wear it.
Right, okay, so let's dig straight into it then. First question then for today. Tips on better sleep. So, do you want to kick off with it?
It starts with the start of the day. I'm actually going to send you a worksheet I've created for that. But for better sleep, you need to get up early. Like a lot of people don't. Ideally, if you can get up with sun exposure, that's the best part. And then work your way up from there. So watch when you drink your caffeine and all those kind of things. So do you drink any teas later in the day? Do you drink any like pops and what stuff? Pre-workout, if you're training later in an afternoon, try to get away from those pre-workouts because let's be honest, people abuse them way too often, not understanding what it actually can do and what it should be doing. So if you're training later in the day and you're really lacking energy, you need to understand that you probably are doing more harm by having another caffeinated drink before you actually train at night, because it's going to interrupt with your sleeping patterns and all those kind of things. So ideally, you go through all that stuff, and to improve your sleep, you need to have a bedtime routine. So I generally don't reply to anyone after 8 o'clock at night. So my phone will be away, my laptop will be put away, all those kind of things. And another, which will be a bit iffy-washy thing, is meditate. So I literally use an app, which is called Oak, which just teaches you how to breathe. Meditation is how can I even describe? So it's basically HRV training, which is widely used in RV setting. And it just teaches you to wind down as quick as you can. So like, I asked you to just check your HRV, check your resting heart rate, all those kind of things every single week. If your HRV is trash, you won't be able to relax. And if your heart rate is always high, you won't be able to relax even more. So if your resting heart rate is near 100 or above, there's something incredibly wrong with your recovery abilities. So you won't be able to wind up. 5 to 10 minutes, just chill and do some high, like deep breathing techniques. This is why cold showers are really kind of good, because it just opens up your lungs. You get more oxygen and you actually chill. If you're struggling with sleep, another thing is what are you actually wearing at night? So when you go to gym, you're wearing certain set of clothing. If you go to work, you wear a certain set of clothing. If you are going on a night out, you'll dress in a certain way to have a good night out. You're not going to go there in work boots. Yeah, you might have a laugh and whatnot, but you're just not going to feel yourself properly. Same like you're not going to go out in pajamas. It's just not the right setting. So if you're struggling to sleep, you need to have a nighttime ritual that is also what are you wearing? Something that associates with you being chilled. It might be some pajamas. Don't wear pajamas in bedroom and then go to shop. Just don't do that. Because your body will associate that, oh, we're wearing this, we're going to go out to shop and it might be raining and this is that. So it has to be for the bedtime setting. So as a rule of thumb, wind down your electronics at night. Make sure you kind of start practicing something that chills you the hell out. So everyone I work with is suggested to do 10-15 minutes of meditation after training. And as meditation sounds a bit like Yoda style bullshit, I approach it as just learning how to breathe. So getting your mind together, because if you don't learn that, your appetite will be affected as well. So it's not only that your sleep is affected, you will be able to eat and you will just crave absolute garbage. And then it just kind of have a snowball effect in your performance altogether. And
I think people just forget though, don't they? Like stress, like all this is stress. And at the end of the day, especially as a strength athlete, you're putting your body through a lot of stress all the time. Your mind's doing so many somersaults because people just do. They think about other people. Like, you're running up to a competition, you're thinking about how everyone else is doing. All this shit is just playing stress on your mind. So I think that's why, a lot of people don't realize that that stress is happening. So by putting these things in place helps you massively. I think a lot of people with the meditation and breathing side, though, they look at it and go, "Oh, I can't be asked to do that," or they'll try it once, they won't do it very well, and then they'll never do it again. Like for me, it took me a very long time to get into breathing. Like, I mean, I've tried it for years, but it's only like in the last 2 years I've been able to sort of like do it successfully.
yeah, and it's quite challenging when you're like someone like myself who's oversized, breathing through your nose. Like, I can't breathe.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you need to get it done. And obviously, there are another things that could be involved as well, as like just lack of nutrients. And the most important thing: stop eating before going to bed.
Yeah. I remember you
You're
saying that.
not gonna lose all the gains because I didn't have enough calories in and this and that. No, you're just abusing your digestive system by eating too close to bed. So ideally, you should be eating closer than 2 hours to before going to sleep. And people are like, oh yeah, but I don't have time to get my calories in. Well, tough shit. Do you want to sleep or do you want to eat? And let's be honest, if you are not sleeping, it's far more damaging than not getting your calories in, because sleep is when you recover.
Yeah.
Sleep is when you release your growth hormone, your thyroid, all those kind of things that speed up all the processes that are necessary to make you a better athlete, healthier individual, and clear your mood up and whatnot. If all your body is thinking about whilst you're asleep, we need to bloody digest this potato, it's not going to go very far. And if you stop eating close to bedtime, you will actually start getting hungrier in the morning. A lot of people who are eating really late at night because they want to cram their calories in, and I just trained, I definitely need to have this steak and massive mashed potato portion and then Rice Krispies or whatever bullshit they believe in. They don't want to eat a breakfast. Yeah, or a dirty bulk. I watch Rich Piana. I need to have ice cream tub every night. I'm like, Rich Piana is dead.
Calories are calories. No, they're not.
Rich Piana dropped dead from heart attack. Why would you listen to someone like that? I don't care how big he was. Yeah, but God Almighty, just.
But I think that that 8 o'clock thing, because I do the 8 o'clock like I tell all my lads to stop texting me after 8 as well, and it's like that's my time that I dedicate to Sarah to say that we either watch something. Like I'm not very good at watching things on TV, but I make the effort to watch something, so I switch off and don't go on my phone. But that's also a good time to do the whole stop food as well, then, isn't it? Like just do it all at once, like make it all a ritual.
Yeah. You switch off, you wind down, you probably get your meal ready for 8, sit down, eat, chill, relax. You're not stressed anymore. But those would be key things. So bedtime rituals. Get off your everything that's like distracting you. Like I don't even check my phone after 8 o'clock. And then if someone messages me after 8, I message them when I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Literally the other day, somebody that messaged about, I think it's the person who asked this question, I told him to stop playing on his phone at night time. He said already it's made a difference. And that's the thing, isn't it? It's just being aware of these things, like these things that stimulate us. And again, especially if, I don't know, like just typically someone that's getting ready for a competition and they're scrolling through fucking Instagram, watching how everyone else is lifting, you're getting fired up, you're getting anxious, you're getting...
There are actual studies that shows that when people think they are relaxing at night by scrolling through social media, their brain works as if they are in active training.
Yeah, I can believe it.
You're not relaxing. Yeah, you might be sleeping and doing jack shit to your like physique to get better, but you're actually taxing your brain.
Yeah, I can believe it.
Another thing what people need to realize is you cause byproducts from any activity. So if you are doing physical activity, you cause inflammation markers raise in your muscle. If you do like thinking, you got your reactive oxygen species going up in your brain. So you just did heavy training session, you beat yourself up. You need to give your body time to recover and rest and repair itself. And instead of doing that, you go, oh, let's check this, let's check that. So you start taxing your brain, and your body thinks like, wait a minute, so we need to get rid of these inflammation markers, but we're creating new ones there. Which one do we deal with first?
Yeah.
And you end up like a downward spiral because nothing recovers, and your performance in the gym starts to fade, and your brain is like a mush. Like you can't be doing that. You have wave-like kind of energy throughout the day. You know, you will wake up. Some people feel very lethargic in the morning. Some people feel very, very energetic, and then it will dip, and then it will come up again, dip and come up again. And you need to use those. You need to actually like time it when what's happening. But why I'm saying that is, if you are pushing yourself to your limits physically, and then go home and then redo some really challenging tasks. For some, it might not be challenging, but you scroll through Instagram and you see someone who's much better than you, and you start stressing on it. Oh, how do I get there? You know, It's taxing on your brain. You want it or not, it is. And that's causing inflammation markers to go up in your brain. So then you need to make sure that you have shitloads of choline in your diet and this and that to kind of get rid of it quickly. Whereas for your muscles, you need different nutrients and stuff. So if you are not really clued up with your nutrition, you're just going to fade. And by nutrition, I mean, don't start eating shitloads of food at night because you want to go to sleep. Make sure you're hydrated. Make sure you have those nighttime patterns developed where you are, first of all, dressed appropriately for winding down. Like, second, don't interact with any social media anymore. If you want to watch something brainless that doesn't really challenge you, and then obviously supplements are a great thing to combat this. You can have some valerian, HTP5 and whatnot, but most important thing is usually lack of magnesium and zinc. So just cheap as ZMAs, pop them down at night. They usually help with sleep. And like I said, chilling down, like meditation is great stuff. Just to, I have phone, I set it up on next to my bed, and I put up this breathing for sleep or whatever, and it kind of talks you through what to do. And I never get to end of it because I just pass out in the middle of it, and I have usually best sleep ever. Bear in mind, if you're struggling with sleep and you're on some stupid like trend, you're not going to sleep. You need to kind of deal with those kind of things. Bedroom light and all those things. But
I guess as well, like, is something that people don't think about is how dark your room is. So like blackout curtains. I actually went through a stage of wearing eye masks at one point, but they just pissed me off.
Blackout curtains, temperature needs to be nice. You can have this, some oils, I actually have written it down, some valerian, some kind of scent, just dab a couple things on your chest, and that should help you sleep as well. You know, as long as it doesn't smell of pizza in your bedroom, be all right. Those are key things. Main thing is usually social media. Every single one I have worked with who struggles with sleep is they just sit on a phone and they're like texting me at 1 o'clock at night. Why I can't sleep? Because you're on a fucking phone.
Look at what you're holding.
That's the main thing. Like start one thing at a time. And main thing I would focus on is getting off from social media. You're not going to die by not checking the bloody Facebook. You're just not going to happen.
And you've seen enough tits, so you don't have to keep scrolling through tits as well.
Yeah. Save your folder, and by 7:59 you need to put it aside. Anymore.
Right, next question then. This is more you really again, but nutrition timing for protein, fats, and carbs, does it matter?
Like with nutrition, everything always depends on you, your availability and whatnot. Like last time we spoke about like fasting, you can get away with eating absolutely nothing. You know, on a comp day, let's be honest, how many people eat? Most people can't eat on a comp day. And does their performance suffer? No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. You know, nutrient timing is only important when you become close to elite level. Yeah, you can have that 1-2% difference in just having poor time properly. or if you're dieting, or when you're really struggling, then you can kind of mix and match your carbs around training to give you extra energy kick. It will work. But in reality, so nutrient timing as such, you just don't want to overload your digestive system with too much things. So it doesn't take away from your training. If you eat too heavy of a food before training, it's not going to work. But in a general sense, it depends on how efficient your body is, how good your physiology is. I would suggest anyone to try a bit less carbs on non-training days, more carbs on training days to begin with. In general sense, I do prefer everyone eating exactly the same every single day, even if it's rest day or training day, just to have some kind of structure. Helps with appetite, helps with sticking to it. It's not too demanding because every single day you need to change something. But in reality, it does not matter when you have your carb meal, when you have your fat meal, as long as you get total intake and make sure you cover all the micronutrient needs as well. You could literally.
So if someone was to have, let's just say, X amount of carbs, X amount of protein fats, X amount of calories, and then X amount of protein fats and carbs, right? It doesn't matter whether they have pre-workout their carbs or pre-workout their fats. It doesn't matter what's.
No, so this is the thing. So your body stores carbs in form of glycogen in your muscle and in your liver. That storage starts as soon as you finish training. That's it. So that's the key part is as soon as you finish training, your body will restore your glycogen in muscle, in liver, and you don't necessarily need it before training, unless you are really depleted or you're dieting or whatnot. Yeah, you might benefit from chucking a fruit before training, get that liver going straight away, a bit of increased blood sugars before training. But in a general sense, if that was the case, then, like I said, in poorer countries, we wouldn't have any athletes because, let's be honest, they can't afford to bloody eat. They will have meal, eat a breakfast, and at night, and that's about it. But our body is way too smart for that. You can literally, as soon as you finish training, you are in super compensated state. You are reloading all your glycogen and whatnot. Yeah, science says if you do this, you can store 1 point, I believe it was 2 or 5 grams per kilo of carbs straight away. But more than if you're not training. But by the time you're training next time, it's 24 hours. You will have enough food by that time to fuel your next workout. And only if you're inefficient in what you do, that's when you actually need to start time your food and whatnot. But if your body is healthy and efficient in storing all the nutrients in the right places, nutrient timing doesn't come anywhere near to being as important as simple fact that people are not hydrated well enough. I always
think it just becomes more of a habit though, doesn't it? Because that whole thing, I think we might have even said this before, but that whole thing about if you don't eat before training, people think they need it. It's well, actually their body, like you say, if you've not ate for 2 days before, then of course you're going to need something before you train because you've just ate shit for how many days?
Yeah, it's more like mental trigger.
Yeah. But at the same time, so often people are too full before they train, and actually their body's trying to digest their food, and then they're not even getting the energy out of it anyway. So then it does them no favors, does it?
Yeah. It's last 2 days, I was training fasted. Didn't make any fucking difference because I was training at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then previous few days, I had my breakfast. My breakfast is 2,000 calories. And literally had no difference in performance whatsoever. In long run, like I said, nutrient timing might be relevant if you're training twice a day, so you need to replenish your glycogen as quick as you can and this and that. But if you're training every day or every other day, then it becomes even less relevant. And main focus, what everyone should be actually focusing on is water intake. Because so many people are just dehydrated and they don't understand that if you don't have enough fluid in your body, no process can work properly because you need that fluid to transport your nutrients in and out of cells. You need to get that fluid to get rid of all the damaged tissue and so on and so forth. So this comes back to the previous topic about sleep. I would rather want you to have a pint of water than massive meal before bed.
Yeah.
Because
just to hydrate through the night, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, because that milk can stack there and not even be digested if you don't have enough fluid in you. And a lot of people who are trying to get bigger, stronger, and whatnot, they're like, "Oh, my appetite suffered." I'm like, "How much water do you drink?" Like, "Oh, 3-4 liters." I'm like, "You 170 kilos guy, 3-4 liters should be your half of the day." Oh, but I can't drink more. No, you can't drink more because you are
That's
just
what you're used
forcing
to.
yourself so much food in you.
Yeah.
There's no room for it anymore.
Yeah.
And I understand it is hard to drink a lot of water if you haven't used to it. You just function or whatever water gets produced by breaking down food, but that's not the most efficient way. You know, you could even get away with eating far less calories just by drinking more water and get way better results. Because now you're efficient in getting all the waste products out of the body and getting all the nutrients into your cell and those kind of things, which is as basic as it sounds, just drink more water. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, nutrient timing
The
is
big
not
thing
the
there.
thing unless you are elite level athlete, probably trains twice a day, who does his cardio, this and that. You obviously can get little boosts of energy before training by having a bit of carbs and whatnot. But in general sense, for someone who has day-to-day life, goes to their job and then just do training as their hobby and even competes in like bodybuilding, strongman, powerlifting and whatnot, it does not become as relevant. Because if that was the case, we wouldn't be able to train, because how many millions of people we have looking great? Do you think they time their food? No, they don't. They don't even think about it.
Yeah.
As long as they get their calories in, and that's
A lot
it.
of people, a lot of people think that like all the top bodybuilders have specific timing of stuff, and ultimately, a lot of people eat different, don't they? Like, but they all look incredible. So,
Yeah. It's like I'll eat my jump sandwiches, and when I eat them, I don't care. But that's the time. So when I need to be extremely low on calories, I'll try to not eat as long as possible.
yeah,
And then people go like, "Oh yeah, I was dieting too hard. I lost too much muscle." No, you didn't have muscle to begin with. That's why you lost a lot of muscle. You just had a lot of fat. Let's be realistic.
yeah,
There wasn't a lot of tissue underneath there. And if you had 6 meals or 4 meals, wouldn't make much of a difference,
no,
because body does not work like that. It doesn't go in starvation mode if you went for without food for 3 hours instead of 4. Yeah. Nutrient timing is not a thing unless you're an elite athlete who trains twice a day. That is beneficial, but let's be honest, all those people who talk about like you need this after training, you need this before training, this is that, they take shitloads of drugs that makes it necessary to do that. Oh, you need 150 grams after training of carbs. I'm like, dude, I'm still sick for 2 hours after I train.
yeah.
Like, unless someone takes like insulin, then it makes absolutely no sense to cram so much food in you.
Yeah.
You know, your body
Yeah,
can't
I'm the
take.
same. Straight after training, I can't eat like straight away. I'll have like now a banana and a shake just to get something on board. But
Oh, no chance. I trained. What's the time now? I trained. I finished training 2.5 hours ago. I still haven't eaten, I think. And I'm not going to shrink because of that. And I know I'm not going to lose my performance or whatnot. It's just my body is still in so well. First of all, my last 2 days I haven't recovered really well because my training is extremely intense. The more intense training is, the more rest you need between training sessions, which I can't afford at the moment because I'm going away. So my training is literally every single day, and I'm beating myself up as much as I can. And yeah, I have missed 2 meals. I would usually have 2 meals at this time, but I will catch up later in the day.
yeah. So would you say then for that person asking about the meal, the nutrition timing, just concentrate on getting your total calories in the day? That's it.
Yeah, 100%. I would even think about figuring out why did he ask this kind of question, mainly for himself to sit down like, okay, why did I ask about nutrient timing? Did I hear it from somebody, or
I think it's a myth. Yeah, I think it's that direction.
Yeah, so if someone says you need to eat every so many hours and this and that, we have so many papers proving that it's absolute bullshit. You can eat definitely just 2 meals a day and get the best thing out of it. Look on like cavemen and whatnot. They would have meat once a week or something like that. And they were probably way more capable of doing things than we are.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does come into play when you start playing with drugs. Most of the guys who are ridiculously big, they just take a lot of insulin. They have to eat often then. They just have to, or they're going to drop dead. Well, it depends on how much insulin you take, obviously. But you're not going to drop dead unless you are absolute idiot.
Yeah.
But it's just
you're not monitoring it.
It's definitely not a thing for anyone who is normal. It does become more relevant if you train twice a day, and that's about it. That's as far as it goes. So, but if you have a routine, it's better than not having one at all.
Yeah, Roger.
So
right. Next one then is best supplements for joint pain. Now, before we go into supplements here, though, I think the question is, why are you getting joint pain? Because I know for me, when I, was a 90 athlete, I used to have bad knees. That was down to the fact that I don't know, I guess I'm not going to say it's all food, but I put it down to mainly food because I was having to deficit my calories so much. But then it was probably down to ill education of how to do it. But the thing is that you want to ask the question of this as well, is why are these people getting knee pain first of all, or joint pain, or whatever it may be? There's obviously certain supplements that are genuinely good, isn't there? And there's things that I'm sure you'll fire out. But I'd always ask the question of why are you getting joint pain first? Are you eating enough nutrient anyway? And then obviously, are you prehabbing yourself properly, in your sessions and stuff? Because that can be the whole misconception. It's all right thinking I'm getting joint pain, so I'm going to have some supplements. Well, when you then turn around and go, the supplements aren't working, is it the supplements that you needed? Or is it because you're lacking in nutrient all over?
Another thing is always comes to, first of all, fitness levels. Are you getting rid of your inflammation markers quick enough for your next training session to happen? A lot of people don't do any cardio whatsoever. And then this is where it kind of starts. This is where everything builds up, and you will get inflammation, you will get calcium deposits in your joints and whatnot.
Yeah.
So first of all, are you doing something as simple as walk after training? I don't see anyone doing it anymore. Like when I started training, you didn't do anything before you had 10-15 minutes on a treadmill and then 10-15 minutes after training to let you cool down. Wash out all the byproducts that have been created by damaging your tissues through training. Nobody had joint pains.
Yeah.
No one had issues. So first of all, it's hydration. Second, you can have some supplements, but the more you look into that, the more it seems like it's absolute bullshit and very inefficient. Fish oil seems to be the most efficient that actually do something because they fight inflammation, they improve your blood flow, all those kind of things that are extremely important to recover your joints. Then you have your glucosamines and chondroitins, but they don't seem to work. There is more studies showing that it's more of a placebo rather than actually recovering anything. It always comes down to inefficiency to get rid of the waste products that are created through training, which is poor cardiovascular health, poor hydration, and poor nutrition quality altogether. Not that they are lacking some magical supplement, but they are most likely lacking some kind of powerful antioxidant in their diet. And it comes back to dark green veg and fruit. Eat a piece of broccoli. If you can't stand it, well, tough shit. You need to man the fuck up. Simple as. So same also if you are not fit enough for your body weight, that will cause a lot of damage on your joints. So reason why I was dieting just recently was my knee was aching, and I thought I don't need to be this big. I'm a midget. Why am I walking around 120 kilos body weight? So I got down to 105, 106. Not a single joint was aching. Not a single one. Another thing is if you carry too much body fat, you will have way harder work cut out for you to get rid of inflammation markers. Because body fat creates it's inflammation to begin with. So but yeah, supplements as such, I would definitely look on basics as your fish oils. Do you take your fish oils? Do you take your multivitamin? Are you taking any antioxidants? Like coenzyme Q10 is quite great. That's more of like cardiovascular antioxidant. But at the same time, what's your resting heart rate? What's your blood pressure? What's your HRV? Are those three in check to be efficient enough to tolerate the loads you are putting on your body and be able to do it as frequent as you're doing now? Because most of the time, if your joints are aching, it's you're doing too much, too often, and not looking after yourself. It's not that you're lacking something. It's deal with the issue rather than throw something up. Just to mask it. 100%.
And that's why I say, like, what I say at the start, like, why are you getting it? You know, because as well, another way of looking at it is, and I put a video about this a while ago, and actually a lot of people's like, as simple as it was really good to listen to. But I was just saying, like, you know, when you're strength training, when you're demanding your body so much, and when you're competing, whatever, like, you're gonna fucking hurt. Like, so you've got to accept that you're going to hurt at points. Like, obviously, we all joke about it sometimes when you fucking have a couple of weeks where you're walking sideways down the stairs and shit, but it's part of what we do. Like, yeah, it doesn't sound the healthiest, and especially when your fucking missus catches you doing it, and she's like, "I told you not to do that shit," and then it causes an argument. But no, do you know what I mean? Like, it's the things that we see because it's what we do, and you have to accept that you are not going to be fucking every single day bouncing out of bed feeling great.
100%. And this is what Russians are really good at. They call it GPP, General Physical Preparedness. How good you are at just jumping out of bed and doing 50, 100 push-ups.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't even do that.
No.
Dude, if you can't even do that and your joints are aching, it's clear that you're just not fit enough for your body.
You're not healthy, yeah.
It doesn't mean that you can squat 4 or 5 plates that you are fit and healthy. It does not mean that. And if you don't look after your joints, I got good news for you. You're not going to last long. When I was doing powerlifting, everything was aching because, let me rephrase that. When I moved to UK, everything was aching because I didn't have coach anymore. So I couldn't afford, I'm squatting 7 plates. It's great. My knees are aching. I can't walk down up the stairs, but who gives a shit? I'm strong as fuck.
Yeah.
And then I went to physio. I found shockwave treatment and he did a scan and everything. It's like, dude, you have so much calcium on your knees. That's why they're aching. They were aching just from me being alive. Kind of like, oh, that's how it should be. Like, because I'm lifting big weights. I'm like, no, that's not how it should be. I was just pushing way too hard, way too often. I was drinking 1,000-calorie shake after every meal. So eating shit food just to get my food in, just to get bigger and stronger and this and that, and at the expense of my health and well-being. Whereas now I'm pretty much same strengths, but nothing aches because I'm much smarter about training to begin with. You know, for strengths athletes, they should definitely get rid of the stupid mentalities that you need to work as hard so you fail every single session. Like, no, that's not how strength is built. No. Strength is built by being fresh every single workout and repeating the skill whilst you're fresh. You know, it's like learning a car. Learning a car is same exact principle as trying to lift heavy deadlift or do a big squat and whatnot. You're not jumping in a car and trying to crush that car and then think, I'm going to be a better driver for that next day. No. Same what you should take same exact principle in strength training. You're not trying to crush your body. You're trying to develop skill and you try to be more efficient at your skill. You're trying to be more aware how your body moves, at what plane, and, you know, where is your weaknesses. Maybe you need to strip back your deadlift, and maybe it's a hamstring issue that's holding you back from progressing faster, or maybe it's glute issue. Maybe it's just ankle mobility and whatnot. And instead of just bashing that deadlift all the time at 80, 90%, strip it back, preserve your joints from being so overloaded, and you're going to get better results in long run. So supplements that everyone should always be taking is multivitamin, fish oils, zinc, magnesium, B6 mix, so your ZMAs. But other than that, is look at what is causing the stuff, like you said yourself. And more times than not, it's just people are not fit enough to recover from the training sessions.
They're not doing the general health stuff, are they?
Yeah, look at Andy Bolton, best deadlifter ever. He was training 3 times a week. That's it.
Yeah.
And he was never going over 75, 80% ever.
Yeah.
Most of the training sessions were below 70% of what he could lift.
Yeah.
When he was doing that,
drilling it in.
I think when he did 465, he never went over 320 deadlift in training sessions.
Yeah.
And he slapped 150 kilos on top of that and lifted it. People like, how can he do that? Because he was smart. He had really good coaches. Like Andy Bolton was one of the smartest guys because he trusted people who were telling him, look, don't train fucking heavy. Train the skill, don't train the weight. And
I got someone the other day who, when after done the program, they said, this is the same weight as last week. Are you sure it's right? And it's like, it doesn't have to go up every week. Like,
yeah, I just had guys in Andy Bolton's, and one did 50 kilo PB, and Josh, fucking at 23 years of age, blew everyone in open class who were like 40, 50 kilos heavier than him. And Josh's heaviest deadlift going up to Andy Bolton's challenge was 220. He pulled 320 in a comp.
Yeah.
And Craig, I think he did 225 2 weeks before comp, which was his new PB. He hadn't pulled that before. He had pulled 210. And then in the comp, he pulled 260 raw.
Yeah.
And he was like, how the fuck does this happen? I'm like, yeah, because we never lifted heavy, like ever.
Yeah. Your body's ready, isn't it? Like it's stimulated, but it's recovered and ready to go.
They both spent around 6 weeks of doing 40, 50, 60% of their 1RMs. You know, I never trusted them to be like unable to lift stuff. It was more about how well you execute the movement.
Yeah.
And then the time comes, you're just so fresh to lift that big weight. Nothing is sore, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's just trying to be smart, isn't it? I think, like, again, with supplements and stuff like that, just rein it back. Think about the stuff that you will benefit from. Off the back of this as well, do you want to put together a little supplement list, like a baseline supplement list?
I'll send you a PDF for sleep. That'll be some sleep. Sleep stack.
Yeah, it'd be good for people to look at that and just reflect on it, won't it? But yeah, perfect. Right, we'll wrap there because we've hit over we're just coming up to the hour mark now. But yeah, awesome, good stuff, and we will catch you on the next Q&A. Peace out.